Hello everyone, this is Legitimus. Check out this elevator I made. Pretty sweet, huh? Let's hop in. And I would like to go up. Let's go up again. Each time we press the button, we go up a floor. Very nice. It's nice and smooth. We get a good view of the outside. And we can even go right on back down just by holding shift. Choop! Very pleasant, very simple. You see this one command block right here? This is all it takes. So if you want to make an elevator that is as cool and slick as this, without doing too much work, you have come to the right place. First, I want to get a little bit more showcase of the features, so if we get our boy over here, I will show you that this elevator can also work with mobs. It can work with mobs, but not players. We can send him down. Took a little fall damage there, buddy. Whoa there. Be gone. Ahem. So this elevator really does work. There's a couple different levels of it. There's a couple different levels of complexity. You may notice these magical floating scaffolding. I'll show you how to make these near the end because this is probably the trickiest part. But just having these nice looking up and down arrows, that's really pretty simple. We also have a button to go directly to the top from the bottom. It's pretty slick. I'm gonna quit squandering time and I'm gonna show you how to make this thing. Very nice, very nice. That's our elevator shaft. We can put floors in wherever we would like. So first, I'm assuming you're adding this to an existing build. You're gonna wanna make all your floors out of scaffolding. The reason for this is that scaffolding has a special property that is unique to it and no other blocks, which is that you can go up through the bottom of scaffolding, but you cannot go down from the top unless you're holding shift, in which case you can go down to this bottom floor. And that is just exactly what we want for an elevator. We wanna be able to float up from the bottom without falling back through from the top. So make them something like this. You're gonna need them attached on a side, okay? So here's the recipe. You're gonna need to set up your up and down buttons. This is the bottom floor, so we only really need an up button. Then, I'm gonna use some warped stairs for their nice blue color, rename them to up, and put them in this item frame back here. So we have a nice up button. Now, one thing the more technically inclined among you may be wondering is why I don't make the item frame invisible. Well, let me show you. If I were to make this item frame invisible using this somewhat long command, Z fighting. Ooh. Now on to the one easy command. I'm gonna show you a couple variations of this command, each slightly slicker, but slightly more complicated. So the simplest thing you could possibly do is effect give at P levitation, and then you give it to him for 1 second at level 6, and type true at the end to hide the particles, so that you don't get floaty particles when you go up. So we press the button, we float up. Very, very simple. What could possibly be improved? Well, first of all, there's no way down. Second of all, this doesn't work with multiple players or with entities. It's just whoever happens to be closest to this block. So if somebody's standing here and presses it, then they'll get pushed up. If somebody's standing back here and presses it for them, the person who's standing here is gonna get pushed up. Another interesting thing you could do is instead of having these buttons be for up, you could have them be for different floors. You could have one for the second floor, you could have one for the third floor. So this is our third floor, this is our second floor, have those arrows pointing up. This button to our second floor should go here. So I'm gonna press Control Pick Block to take this command block into my inventory with the command inside it. So Control Pick Block, that's Control Middle Mouse by default, but I have my pick block bound to V, so I'm gonna be using that a good bit in these, and it's important you know how to do that if you maybe wanted to make a big tower of these. Second floor button takes us to the second floor, and then if we want to make a button that takes us to the third floor, we just increase either the amplifier or the time. So we either make it, instead of being level 7, I know that's a 6, it's 1 higher than the level that you type. So instead of level 7, we could try maybe level 12, see if that takes us up to the third floor. Hey, what do you know? That's that's just about perfect. And now we're up here. We could also just double the amount of time. We could have it be for 2 seconds at level 7. That was actually a little bit too much. We might want to turn that level down a little bit. And you get the idea. You can just adjust this command. It's not set in stone. It's just about the speed to time traveling ratio. Now, how about those down arrows, huh? How do we get down? Let's make one of those. First, we get this thing, little arrow in there, and now we're gonna get a command block here. This command block is gonna execute at the position of the nearest player, and it is going to run the command TP at P, tilde, negative, I think it's 0.876. Now, what will this do? This will teleport you about a fraction of a pixel below this bottom floor, thus allowing you to fall through. See? We fall right through the scaffolding floor. We can put another one up there. See, it's already got the command in it. You know, you can put your up buttons up there too. These ones will just take us up, put your item frames in, decorate the place up. It's not so complicated. But what if it was? What if we wanted it to be a little bit slicker? Because this is very bare bones. I'll be perfectly honest with you. For this, we're gonna need to use the /execute command, which is a command that is very confusing to a lot of people. And if you are one of those people to whom it is very confusing, might I recommend my /execute tutorial, link in the top right corner. In that tutorial, I go over conditionals, which is a scary word. I go over positionals, which is also scary word. It's good stuff, and I'm about to use it in this tutorial. It's optional. You can always just copy and paste from the description, but if you really want to understand, maybe give it a watch after this video. Also, please subscribe. We're gonna use /execute. So instead of this whole big effect give levitation thing, we're gonna do something much larger. So before this, I'm going to copy this and delete it, or just cut it. I'm gonna do execute as at a distance equals ... 4. Now, what this is gonna do is it's gonna run the following commands as if all players with a distance less than or equal to 4 blocks away from this command block were running it. Now I'm going to run at S, that just means it'll run as that player where that player is, if block tilde -1 tilde is scaffolding. So if they are standing on scaffolding within 4 blocks of this thing, then run our old command, except replace at P with at S. That's important. That way it'll run from the actual person who's running it, not necessarily the closest player. Although, if we do have it set to at A, it shouldn't make a difference. So now, we press our button to go to the 3rd floor. Takes us up. Very little change. But if we're not standing in the elevator, it doesn't take us up because we're not standing on scaffolding. See? See the advantages of using this somewhat ugly block? Now, if we want it to work for mobs, it's as simple as changing the at A distance equals ... 4 to an at E distance equals ... 4. And because we changed it to at S instead of at P, it will work for mobs too, because at S can be an entity, but at P can only be a player. So if we get some lads in here and send them on their way, there they go. So now, we want our pigs to be able to go down, because right now, if I press this down button, all it does is teleport me down, regardless of where I am. So we're gonna copy the beginning of our execute command, all the way up to the word run, so everything minus the command. I'm just gonna select all the way to the left, then I'm gonna paste it at the beginning here. Okay, so same deal, if they're standing on scaffolding less than 4 blocks away, then execute at, we run, I'm gonna get rid of this, TP at S, -876 blocks downwards. So now, yep, the pigs fall through the floor. If we were to put that one here, I know this is a bit crazy, you'll notice something bad happens. It teleported the item frame. Uh-oh. So that can be fixed simply by going to the at E at the beginning, putting a comma in, and then saying type equals ! Item frame. Minecraft item frame. That will just make it so it doesn't teleport item frames, but it teleports every other type of entity. Now, before we get going, there is one final thing right behind me that I haven't yet shown you how to do. How do we make it so that you can go down by just holding shift? For that, the secret is this repeating command block hiding behind the clerk's desk. I am just gonna take this with me, take the lever, and we're gonna return to our own elevator. Okay, put down a repeating command block, and maybe leave it on needs redstone, because this is something that you might not want to have running all the time. Now, get the coordinates of where all the scaffolding is in your elevator. So starting from here, I'm gonna do /fill from here to here, all the way up to here. Okay, we don't need to do the bottom floor because we don't need to be able to fall through the bottom floor. So just from here to here, okay? And we are going to fill that area with scaffolding, bottom equals false. Now wait, there's one more step, which is to replace scaffolding. So this will fill all the scaffolding with bottomless scaffolding. Boop. You see how it changed for a 20th of a second right there? That's why we put it in a repeating command block, because unfortunately there's no way to just have these things float unsupported. But if we turn that on, suddenly they're floating unsupported. So if we go up to our top floor and we hold shift, you'll see that that bottom thing is no longer there to stop us from going down. Now, the thing that makes this finicky is how you do the supports. If you have supports next to every single scaffolding block, you will not have any trouble. But if you maybe only had one block of supports, then for some reason, this happens, and some of them are supported and some of them are not. And we can't place one here, unless maybe we could? Huh? I don't understand it either. Now, I'd like to show you one more thing. I've never done this before, but there is actually an upper floor here. You can see we're on the top floor, but if we go up one more... How about that, y'all? Did I do a good job? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to subscribe for more Legitimus content, and also watch my other videos. Goodbye!